Welcome back everyone, my name is Echo and I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. We are back on Minecraft Pocket Edition, the Bedrock version. This is beta 1.10. I've already brought you 2 videos today. Go and check them out because I brought you a detailed video on shields. Yes, we now have shields on Minecraft Pocket Edition. And also a detailed video on villagers, the Wandering Villager Trader, and how everything works. Guys, we have sleeping villagers in Minecraft now. But today in this video, we are focusing on the new crafting tables, the new furnaces, the new crafting recipes, and much more. Now, I'm doing this on my Samsung Galaxy Tab S4, but I do also have an Xbox controller connected, so I can teach you how things do work. If you do enjoy this video, guys, please take the time to hit that like button. Out of all the videos I've done today, it literally took me 1 hour and 30 minutes to get this set up with the correct recipes, how things work, and much more. Not all of these are currently active in the game. So what I mean by that is, because this is the first beta, as time goes by, we'll get more betas, which means more things will become functional. Very similar to what they did on Minecraft Java. But I want to start with this today. So this is called the Loom. Now the Loom is going to be the new way you craft banners, design banners, combine banners, because they are officially taking banners away from the crafting table, which is why they introduced this. So inside of here, I have a couple of things. Most importantly, we have the crafting recipe. Oops, I opened the crafting table. We have the crafting recipe. So the crafting recipe for this, again, I'm putting this in here because Minecraft is a muscle memory game. The only way we remember things like this is if we craft them. So you go 1, 2 on the bottom, and you go 1, 2 string on the top. So 2 string on top, and any planks on the bottom. Doesn't necessarily have to be oak. So inside of here, I've grabbed a bunch of materials. I've grabbed banners, I've grabbed dyes, I've grabbed paper, and I've grabbed some of the things that you can use. Because if we open the interface for this, this is how things look. Granted, I am now using the manual crafting. I'm not using the Pocket Edition crafting. I like to use manual because I've always used this, and if I don't use manual, I always forget how to play this game. So this first slot we have right here, this is the banner slot. The second slot is going to be your dyes, whether it's red, black, blue, green, purple, what other color you want, you put it inside of here. So if I put a white banner inside of here with blue dye, we could probably design one of these. And for example, if we put black in there with blue, as you guys can see, it creates this straight away. You can change this design to whatever you want. It just makes things a little bit easier instead of having to plonk things into the crafting table. Now this last slot, well, we don't really have anything that goes in there because it's not paper that goes in there. So that's where crafting comes into play, because they've introduced something called banner patterns. And to do banner patterns, you need paper and you need the corresponding pattern. So the corresponding patterns today, we are going to be using the Wither Skull, the Creeper Skull, and of course, the Golden Apple. If we put this inside of here, this will then create this, which is called the banner pattern. I can't speak today. And this is called the Thing. So if I was to put myself a creeper inside of here, we will end up with, I think it's called Creeper Charge. Yes, the banner pattern Creeper Charge. And if I put a Wither Skull inside of here, it will end up with the banner pattern Skull Charge. So if we start off with a basic banner design, I'm going to put this inside of here, which is the yellow banner. I'm going to go red with this, and I'm going to put one of these in. We're going to go with the Thing. The Thing is the Mojang thing, by the way. I don't know why they don't just call it the Mojang logo. So as you guys can see, we have successfully created ourselves the Mojang logo. But of course, you can make multiple designs. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of these patterns. I could put black in there with blue, and I could change this up to like a faded effect, because I really do like this faded effect. And I can grab this, and then maybe I wanted to change this up a little bit more. We could have 2 fades. I could put that in there with red, and we could also do the fade effect on the bottom. But this time I decided I want to do this. It kind of reminds me of some teeth. And as you guys can see, we have ourselves a new pattern design. So for anyone who hasn't messed around with this, because I've messed around with this on Minecraft Java PC, it will take you a little bit of time to get used to this. The most important thing that you need to know about this is the recipe, which is just 2 wooden planks and of course 2 string. So let's move on to the next thing. Well, we've got a lot of things to go through today. So moving on to the next thing in today's video, this is called the Lectern. And this is going to make things a lot easier for map makers, adventure maps, and also reading as a group. So as you all know, if you get a book, for example, this one, which is a book and quill, you have to read it and then pass it to a friend, and then they have to read it, which becomes really annoying. Now, the crafting recipe for this is you need 4 oak slabs and you need a bookshelf. So 1, 2, 3 on the top, 1 in the bottom middle, and then a bookshelf in the middle. This will craft a lectern. You can find these in villages as well, so always go on the adventure, because obviously it's going to be a lot cheaper than crafting them yourself. So if I grab this book, put this on, how come I can't put this on here? There you go, I did. So if you click on the lectern with the book, as you guys can see, this book is now available. Now if I click on this book, I can now read it. Make sure you guys read this. So this means that people who are standing next to you, you can kind of read this together. It means that you don't have to have separate books. Again, it's going to be great for adventure maps. It's going to be great for not having to read things separately. So you can read it as a group. And yes, you can pop it up if you really, really wanted to. So moving on to the next thing, this is the Stonecutter. Your question is this original Stonecutter? No, the original Stonecutter has now been replaced. This is the only Stonecutter that we have in Minecraft now. So for anybody who kept their OG Stonecutter, when you update to this latest 1.10 version, this will be your Stonecutter in place. It doesn't do any damage to you, doesn't make any sounds, and as of me making this video, the Stonecutter currently is not active. But if you wanted to craft this, the crafting recipe for this is it requires 3 stone and 1 iron ingot. By the way, the delay lag you see, that's just because of the beta. So 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. Grab one of these. As you guys can see, we have ourselves a Stonecutter. Also, for me doing this, guys, for me making these tutorial videos, it also keeps me updated with how things work as well. Because, again, you got to remember these crafting recipes. Moving on to campfires. Well, at this moment, campfires, they don't do anything. They don't do damage to you. It is the old poopy texture. Not sure why it's the old texture. This texture will change. Campfires, by default, will bring smoke particles. But again, it's not currently active. And if you guys wanted to craft this, this is the specific recipe. You need 3 sticks. You need 1 coal or charcoal in the middle, and you need 3 any kind of logs on the bottom. They can even be strip logs if you really, really wanted to. And of course, the outcome will be the wonderful campfire. Great addition to the game. Again, this is not active in the game, this is not active in the game, and this also is not active in the game. This is the Grindstone. So if anybody who remembers Minecon when they announced the Phantom, Mob C was the disenchanter. This is exactly what this does. It disenchants things. So if I had a bow with power 3 and I put it inside of here, it would take away the power 3 and give me an ordinary bow. Now by doing that, it will give you some of your enchanted XP back. So it's a good way to basically steal armor from mobs. So if you kill a couple of mobs, maybe it's a zombie and it's got gold enchanted armor, put it inside of this thing, and then you take away the XP and you gain XP for yourself, which is brilliant. You did just see the recipe. The recipe for this one is stick at the top. This goes at the top as well. It has to be a stone slab. Again, a newer introduction recently, and as you guys can see, that creates the Grindstone. I love this feature. I've messed around with this in Java. It is a brilliant introduction. So now we move on to smelting. Both of these are somewhat furnaces. This is the smoker. This cooks food twice as fast as a furnace. This is a blast furnace. This smelts things twice as fast as a furnace. So if I put 2 furnaces here, and I put 64 fish inside of there, and 64 fish inside of there, it would smelt all 64 of those, and there would only be 32 smelted by the time this one is finished. So it smelts things twice as fast. Exactly the same with this one. If I put iron inside of there, iron ore inside of a furnace, 64 of these would be smelted and only 32 would be furnaced, which I think is a brilliant addition. I'm not going to craft it for you, but I will show you the recipe. The recipe for this is a furnace in the middle and any form of oak around the outside. As you guys can see, I'm using the chests as some form of the recipe guide, and this will create the smoker. It's a really cool introduction. Doesn't mean that you can't smelt things in furnaces, by the way. It just does things a lot faster than ordinary. This one's quite expensive. The blast furnace is quite expensive. This requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of iron and a furnace. So you're already going to need a furnace before you can craft this. And you also need smooth stone. To get smooth stone, you have to put regular stone inside of a furnace. And that will, of course, smelt these down. All right, moving on to the cartography table. Again, another item that is not currently active in this game. But it does basically what you can see on side of here. You've got yourself the map. I think you've got some compasses on there. You've got yourself, like, the map itself again. So this is crafted with an ordinary crafting table and a piece of paper. And of course, the outcome would be a cartography table. Again, not active in the game. And all this does is basically you can lock maps and extend maps. It's been taken away from the anvil and the crafting table. Usually we would put a map inside of here with paper around it and it would extend the map. That's going to be moved to this official item. It can also be found in villages as well. Along with the grindstone, smoker, blast furnace, they can all be found inside of here. This next one is called the smithering, whatever you want to pronounce it, however you want to pronounce it, table. This is not yet active in Minecraft Java, and we do not fully know how this is going to work, but it does have a hammer and nails on it. So I reckon this is going to be linked to the Mason Villager, which is currently active in Minecraft Bedrock. Crafting recipe for this, pretty easy actually. It's just an ordinary crafting table with cobblestone. The outcome will be the smithing table. And then we've got one more of these tables. So we've got 3 different crafting tables and we have 2 different furnaces introduced. A lot to remember for one specific update. So this one, Fletching, I don't think this is also active in Minecraft Java, but it's got a bow and arrow, feathers, and flint, and it's also got a target on the side. This is more than likely just going to be used for trading, I guess. No, I think this is going to be used for possibly crafting bows, and of course the crossbow. And I also think it's going to be linked to like tipped arrows. You're now going to have to craft these in here, maybe. I don't really know. It's not active, but the crafting recipe for this, oh, it's not 2 of them. You need a crafting table and just 1 arrow, and the outcome will be the fletching table. All right, now that I've got rid of all of them, because, well, there's a lot to remember. There is a lot of features that you're going to have to remember here. The next one we have here is the lantern. Now, this is my favorite feature in this latest update. Why? Well, they're beautiful. They work really well, and they're really great for lighting areas up. Now, you can attach these on here, but you can also attach it up here as well. So if you wanted to have it hanging, you can, and I think in particular the hanging one looks much better. And also, if you break the below block, well, this pops off, which is why having these hanging here is so much better. They're quite expensive to make though, so you're gonna have to stack up on a lot of iron. So the crafting recipe for this, you require 1 torch in the middle, and you now have iron nuggets around the outside. So your iron's gonna be a little bit more stretched. Your iron isn't just gonna be used for your tools and your armor, it's also going to be used for your lighting source. So this has a light level of 15, meanwhile torches have a light level of 13 or 14. So they are brighter than torches, and you can place these on slabs. I need to find a slab. I don't have any right now, but you can place these on slabs according to the official changelog. I love these, man. They're my favorite feature introduced. Moving on to another favorite feature of mine introduced. This is the barrel. Again, not yet active in the game. The barrel is just a chest, but if I had a chest in this location, I would have to have stairs here to open this. The barrel does not require you to have stairs or slabs above it in order for it to be opened. You can simply open this thing. Although its inventory space is only the same size as a small chest, it can be small and compact, and you can put multiple ones of these in one space, which I think is great, because if I wanted to put this here, well, we'd have to have like gaps for chests. So they are really good for space saving. And the crafting recipe for this, so I do need to mention this. The crafting recipe on Bedrock, so iOS, Android, Windows 10, Xbox, and Switch for this is sticks and slabs. On Java PC, I'm pretty sure it's slabs and planks. So I'm not sure which recipe will be the final recipe, but that is something I definitely noticed compared to the Bedrock version and Java version. So yeah, take it with a pinch of salt, guys. Just remember the recipe, or try and remember both of them. Another item that is not yet fully active in Minecraft Bedrock, this is called the Composter. So what this does is this produces bone meal. So what you'd have to do is put your seeds, your wheat, your cactus, all kinds of things inside of here, and it will only produce 1 bone meal. Personally, this is one of the most useless features introduced in this update, and according to the developers, the Composter is used for a lot of peaceful players, which I thought was a little bit unusual. Now, the crafting recipe for this, it is all done with oak slabs. Meanwhile, on Java, it's done with planks on the bottom and fences on the sides. So another recipe that has changed on Bedrock compared to the Java PC version. You may as well remember both recipes, because we don't know which one is going to be the final one. We've got the introduction of the bell. This doesn't do anything. It's just a bell. It is active on Java, like you can ding it, but on this version you cannot ding this. And yes, you can have them upside down, although they don't touch. So getting into some of the smaller features that have been introduced, but are also really key features for this game. We now have full bark blocks, and these can be crafted. They're a little bit expensive if you want to craft them, but you can have bark blocks in any color. It can be oak, it can be spruce, birch, acacia, jungle, etc. And it just requires you to do the recipe of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you guys can see, the outcome is 3 full bark spruce wood. It's just got knock at the top on it. I like birch quite well. I think this is going to be really good for buildings. And I also like the dark oak as well. Let's get rid of this one as well. So yeah, another introduction to the game that players can just mess around with. I know creative builders, or builders in general, whether you are creative or survival, are definitely going to love this feature. Feel free to have a mess around with these, because they are a really, really cool introduction to this update. I like that a lot. Sweet berries. These things can be found in a mega taiga biome. But these things also do damage to you. So if you walk into a fully grown bush, as you can see, it will start to do damage to you. Now, if I click on this, it will give me some berries. I can replant these berries on grass. I don't think you can put them on any other form of block. I think it's just grass at this moment. Now, you can bone meal this as well. So if I just grab myself some fresh berries and we get rid of this. If I try and walk into a very, very small one, it doesn't do anything at all. You can bone meal this. That's stage 2, that's stage 3, and that's stage 4. Stage 4 produces more berries, just so you guys are aware. That's the only difference that I know. Another feature introduced. Nothing huge, but you can now use dead bushes to cook inside furnaces. Again, another Java feature. These features that I'm showing you were kind of requested by the community. But if you really ever wanted to use dead bushes as a fuel source, or emergency fuel source, should I say, you can definitely use them, because you do go through quite a lot of dead bushes in order to just cook one of your foods. This one's also really cool. Inside of here, we have shears inside of a dispenser. If I flick this lever, it will instantly cook yourself, cut. It will shear your sheep, meaning that it's basically a sheep generator, which I think is really cool. You could make this auto and just get as much wool as you wanted to, even though he's naked. I'm sorry, sheep, but this was a Minecraft tutorial. You can now use arrows and crossbows to hit these off. So if I put that right there, I can use a bow, and it will pop off. This is just going to save players from having to tower all the way up to break them. You've probably done it a million times, and it gets really, really annoying. But you can use this being a bow, and you can also use yourself a crossbow as well, and you can pop them both off, and they will just fall on the floor. A great introduction, and a lot of players have been waiting for this for quite some time, because there's nothing more annoying than in the end cities than having to tower up to obtain yourself some chorus flowers. Last but not least, in today's video, I think we've covered most things today. We are going to be focusing on trees, because trees, decaying leaves, now have a chance of dropping sticks. So trees, it can be all trees, by the way. It's not just oak trees. Trees can now drop there you go, they did it already. Trees can now drop saplings, apples, and sticks. If you guys wanted another way to get sticks, this is just another way to do it. But I thought I'd share this with you in case you guys are a little bit confused as to why you are obtaining sticks quite regularly from your tree farms. And there's a lot of things that I've covered in today's video. I want you guys to leave a comment down below if you're still watching right now and type in potato. And then the second thing I want you to type in chat is what your favorite feature is so far in the 1.10 beta update. Because there's a lot of things. These will slowly start to become functional, and I will make separate beta videos and keep you guys all updated. But have a great day. Stay beautiful, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.